Good morning, good morning. Welcome to our Sunday morning connection and time of devotion together. I'm grateful to be with you. I'm honored to be with you. It is February the 15th. Oh my gosh, yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I got a chance to play some music. I think actually I got a little bit of sun. I can see it this morning, a little bit of sun. Yesterday was a sunny and beautiful day down at Paso Grill Beach, and had a chance to sing a little bit and do some hanging out, and I really enjoyed spreading some love. You know, one of the things that I have found very interesting in this phase of my life in terms of playing music is that I get a chance to play all kinds of styles of music, a bunch of songs that are familiar and songs that are not familiar. And I get a chance to play some of my original songs as well. But I've noticed something. When I cut into like a don't worry about a thing, every little thing is gonna be all right, the mood changes in an audience. The mood changes. Or one love, one heart, let's get together. The mood changes. Look for the good in everything. The mood changes. And I feather those songs throughout my set, and I notice a difference in the vibration. And one of the songs that I did yesterday that I try to do in every set or every opportunity I have to play out is the song, Love is Still the Answer. Love is still the answer. And it's almost like there's a hush that comes over the crowd when that happens. Maybe it's just me, but I believe that there is a vibrational shift, and we've talked about this so much, but that there's a vibrational shift that's occurring right now in the planet and in the human. And we're in the process of elevating in a way like we never have before. We are in the process of emerging into a higher truth. And even in the midst of all that we see with the hatred, the division, the vitriol, and the separation, and the anger, and the angst, and even the fear, and the concern, and the chaos, even in the midst of all of that, in fact, I think that actually helps to bring on a power of sorts, an energy of sorts that helps us to alchemize this time period. That says, I'm going to turn this lead into gold, that I'm going to metamorphosize all of this. I'm going to use this instead of being used by it, and certainly not going to live in fear within it. And so we are in week 3 of our series, The Great Remembering. And this is a message that if I was going to title it, and I would title it, The Wisdom You Just Forgot You Knew. The wisdom you just forgot you knew. And let me say this right up front. You are not empty. Now we do study the art of emptiness. I love the beautiful philosophy of the beginner's mind. And so we empty out in that degree of our belief systems so that we can constantly be expanding. But you are not running on empty, waiting to be filled by something or someone. You are full, simply waiting to be trusted. By now, something subtle may be happening inside of your being as we're going through more awakening. And it's not really fireworks. It's not lightning bolts. I don't think we're experiencing some kind of a choir descending through the ceiling, perhaps perched up on a fog machine. There's just this quiet familiarity, I believe, as we're journeying together in this great remembering. There's this sort of underlying yes that is happening within our being. It's just a quiet familiarity. That strange feeling of, wait, I know this. It's almost like experiencing some deja vu maybe in your life. I know this. When you hear a truth, when you are seeing a truth, you hear a recognition. You hear someone say, the divine is within you, the wisdom of the divine and infinite intelligence. This is what we've called God or source. It dwells within you. And there's a sense that what we are naming in this great remembering is not new information. It's ancient recognition. It's like running into someone that you've known, but maybe you've never met before. Knowing their middle name, even though you've never met them before. This is something that you know within you. It's primordial. It's natural. And it's a vibration that you already know in your soul you're connected to. So week 1 reminded us that we have always been this. We have always been divine. Week 2, we invited us to stop striving and to soften into being. Stop trying to work for it. And now in week 3, we arrive at a really beautiful and sometimes an unsettling realization that you already know. Now, I've said before that we believe a whole lot, but we know very little. But the little that we do know in our knowing, not in the knowledge of intellectual library of information, but what we know in our inspired self is a knowing that flows not necessarily with a particular language that we understand in our society that's built around explanation more than experience, but it's an experiential knowing that's within us. You have always known. The problem was never ignorance. The challenge, I believe, was learning to trust what has been whispering inside of you, speaking to you all along, quietly, patiently, occasionally tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, I'm here, while you pretended not to notice. And so we understand, if we start to realize this and awaken to it, we start to gather to us that wisdom is not acquired. It is remembered. We were taught, at least I know in my world, I was taught that wisdom comes from accumulation of information. More books, more teachers, more credentials, more conferences, more conventions, more certainty, more podcasts, more guided meditations. The more and more and more I do it, that I'm accumulating wisdom. And while learning absolutely has its place, there's a deeper truth that many spiritual traditions agree on. And at least in our language, I would call it wisdom or Sophia. It's the beautiful name Sophia. Wisdom, and true wisdom it's not imported. It is discovered. It is recovered. It is uncovered. It's not something that we get from somewhere else. It's not something we can get from a Joe Dispenza conference. What he's doing can cause us to remember, but it can only really cause us to remember what's already there in every single one of us. Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within you. There's that consistent flow with all of the sages throughout time. The Upanishads say, Tat Tvam Ashi, thou art that. That's what the Upanishads tell us. Thou art that. The Tao Te Ching tells us that the sage knows without traveling, sees without looking, and accomplishes without striving. The sage knows without traveling, sees without looking, and accomplishes without striving. None of those teachings suggest that the truth is hiding somewhere. It's not somewhere outside of us. And I know that's a repeated refrain from me. I understand that. But I really want us to constantly refocus and come back to that truth, that what is within us is the divine intelligence, the infinite intelligence that is available to us at all times. The creator of all things is directly connected to us. And it's about us remembering it. It's not somewhere else. It's not in a teacher or a guru. It's not in another system. It's not even in the footnotes that you have taken throughout life. They all point inward. Every sage, every teaching points inward. And this is why I point inward. I am essentially, my whole life is to be a pointer, and not to point in that direction or this direction, but right back at you, to always go back within. See, our total wisdom, information, inspiration, the things that we are experiencing, it's never ever going to be found in anyone or anything else. Never is. Now, this doesn't diminish the value of teachers and pointers and preachers and priests and imams and rabbis and gurus and whatever. Okay, so whatever you want to call them. I'm not diminishing their value. Certainly the work that I do maybe would land in some of that kind of category, although I don't care for titles. I want us to remember, though, that it's always, we can be stimulated, we can be inspired, we can be have people in our lives that maybe are examples of where we want to go. But the truth is always centered in the inner self. It's within you, always. So I consider myself to be a pointer. They are all pointers, which raises then a tender but maybe slightly inconvenient question for many of us. And that question is, what if the reason so much advice feels hollow is because your soul is waiting for permission to speak from the infinite intelligence that is already streaming consciousness within you? While you're listening to all of the other things that are going on, all of the other teachers, the books, the conferences, the videos, the whatever, what if what's really happening is that your soul is wanting to speak to you from that infinite supply? There's a voice beneath the noise. And most of us were trained out of our inner knowing very early. We were told, don't trust your feelings, don't listen to that voice, don't question authority. Be practical, come on now, be realistic, be careful. A lot of that fear language. In other words, ignore your soul and consult the manual. And the manual we gave you. And slowly, what happens is the inner compass, it gets buried underneath layers of conditioning. It's not destroyed, it's not obliterated, just muted, the volume turned way down, like wisdom on airplane mode, essentially. It gets turned way down, and yet even now, notice this, you often know what is right before you ask anyone else. You sense when something is off, even if you can't explain it. You feel when it is time to leave, to rest, to speak, to stay quiet, to begin again. That's not random. That is not accidental. That is not you being too sensitive. That is Sophia, wisdom. That is within you, endeavoring to speak to you and through you. The problem is not that we lack it. The problem is that we doubt it. The moment it appears, we already doubt it because we've been taught to. Usually right before asking 5 other people and then doing the opposite thing of what your inner self and your inner guidance told you to do. See, we have intuition and intelligence within us, and that intuition, we can trust it. Intuition, listen to this, is intelligence before language. Intuition is intelligence before language. I can't put words on it, but I sense it, I feel it. We live in a culture that worships explanation and second guesses experience. We live in a culture that worships explanation and second guesses experience. If you can't justify it, don't trust it. If you can't defend it, then dismiss it. If it doesn't make sense yet, it must be wrong. But intuition is not anti-intellectual. Intuition is pre-intellectual. It is the original AI. Come on now, listen, I just said a mouthful there. This should light you up. The intuition is not anti-intellectual, it is pre-intellectual. Intuition is the original AI. Intuition may be the original AI in that it's not artificial intelligence, it's ancient intelligence. It's so ancient that it exists before time. It exists before societies were built. It's not artificial. It's not been a conglomeration of information by human beings put into a system somewhere, sort of a digital encyclopedia. It is that ever-flowing intelligence. It's ancient intelligence. Before algorithms, before data sets, before anyone tried to code consciousness, there was a quiet knowing already living inside of you. Intuition doesn't need a Wi-Fi signal or cell signal. It doesn't argue for attention. It simply waits until the noise settles and truth feels obvious again. You see, technology, it can process information, but intuition remembers who you are. And maybe the real evolution isn't machines becoming more human. Maybe it's humans trusting what has already been sacred within us the whole time. It is knowing before words. It is truth before translation. It's the answer showing up before the PowerPoint ever gets made. It's inspiration before information. Think about the moments that have shaped you the most in your life. Chances are the biggest decisions were not made, the ones that affected your life the most, they were not made after perfect logic. They were not made after a spreadsheet was complete. They were not made once everyone agreed with you. They were felt, they were sensed, they were known in the body before the mind caught up and asked for evidence. The knowing, that knowing, is not reckless. It is ancient. This is ancient intelligence, the original AI. That was not reckless. It was ancient. So the infinite mind has already briefed you. In New Thought theology, we're reminded that we are individualized expressions of the infinite intelligence. Not visitors, we're not interns, we're not students begging for the scraps. We are actual expressions of divine intelligence. This divine intelligence we are expressing, which means that the same wisdom that spins the galaxies is trying to reach to you, not someday, but right now. It is already thinking as you. You were not left out of the meeting. You did not miss the memo. You are not behind spiritually. The question is not, how do I become wise? The question is, am I willing to trust the wisdom that is already moving through me? Am I willing to trust the wisdom that is already available to me? It is already currently speaking to me. And am I willing to listen? Well, this is where remembrance becomes our practice. This whole month, that's what we're doing. The great remembering is the invitation to practice. Remembering requires stillness, not strain. Wisdom does not shout. It whispers, it nudges, it waits patiently. And occasionally it sighs while you scroll, trying to find, or while you book another conference. That is why stillness has always been the gateway. Meditation, prayer, life visioning, walking without headphones, sitting without fixing, letting the moment be unfinished, and trusting that divine intelligence, not to get answers, but to remove interference. When the noise quiets, what remains is not emptiness, but what remains is guidance. So you're not trying to hear God. You are learning to get quiet enough to stop interrupting this divine voice. And so as you go through the rest of this week, here's a gentle invitation for this week. This week, don't ask, what should I do? Ask instead, what do I know already, but I've been avoiding? What do I already know, but maybe I've been avoiding? Don't speak or seek more opinions. Pause and allow yourself to feel what has already been consistent inside of you. Not loud, not dramatic, just faithful. And when that quiet knowing rises, just consider practicing this sacred sentence. I trust the wisdom moving through me. Simple. I trust the wisdom moving through me. I trust it. Not because you're perfect and not because you are connected, but because you are irrevocably and eternally connected to the divine. Let me say that one more time. Not because you're perfect, but because you are connected irrevocably and eternally to this divine. The wisdom is seeking you out. It is desiring to flow through you. Will you let it? Will you let it? Here's a closing blessing that I'd like to leave with you today. As you, again, lean into the Sophia, as it's called in the Hebrew Bible, wisdom, and you allow her to begin to speak to you, for you, through you, and as you. So may you remember that you are not behind. May you stop outsourcing your authority. May you honor the intelligence that has been faithful to you your entire life. And may you discover that the wisdom you've been searching for has been patiently waiting, not to impress you, but to be trusted by you. You have always known. So now listen to that voice. That voice wants to speak to you and guide you into higher and higher truths and into a life of love, joy, and peace, prosperity, abundance, and well-being. And he wants to guide you through this awakening process as we are in the greatest, perhaps the greatest psychological and spiritual shift in the history of humanity. Let this voice be your guide. I love you, my friends. Now go and make it a great week just because you can. I'll see you for meditation on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's all love. Take care.
Loved ones, thank you so much for joining us today for our devotional service. The ways to give are on the screen right now. You can, of course, text to give. You can utilize our app. You can also go to firstunity.org/give. And on that page, you can actually decide to become an auto giver. That's really what it takes to become a sustaining partner to this ministry. If you believe in what we're doing here, I'm asking you to consider supporting the light that currently is and seeding that light for the future. We continue with our ways to give by offering our P.O. Box, our Cash App, and our QR code for you to scan on the screen. So I want to say a special thank you to everyone who has chosen this community to be a place where you want to give your financial seed. Know that when you're planting that seed, it is going into fertile soil, and you activate the law of circulation in your life. God bless you.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous thought. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. It begins with me. I am peace. 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 To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun.